Hey Canucks fans, it is Canucks Game Day, and let's talk about ideal line mates for Petey and JT Miller's future. I'm Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks Take all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Thursday, March the 3rd. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Thanks to all the members who joined me for my monthly members live stream last night on YouTube. It was really good. Back to regular live streams for everyone this Sunday. Tonight, the Canucks are playing game number 3 of their 4-game road trip, a trip that's seen them beat the Rangers, then lose to the Devils, and now it's the third New York-based team. It is the Islanders tonight. I'm looking for the Canucks to obviously bounce back from their poor outing. Number 1, Thatcher Demko will be starting in goal. And as I mentioned yesterday, the lines, it sounds like they're going to switch things up a little bit. It looks like it's going to be Miller, Besser, and Pearson. A second line of Pettersson with Garland and one of Höglander or DiGiuseppe, might be Höglander tonight, and then a third line of Horvat, Podkolzin, and I'm missing one. Horvat, Podkolzin, and Chason, I guess it would be. And then the fourth line would be Mott, Lamko, and Highmore. Then OEL Myers, Hughes Shen, Hunt Hamonic, or Hughes Hamonic, Hunt Shen, we will see tonight, and Demko in net. So I kind of talked about the breakdown of these lines yesterday, but I want to talk about two things today. Let's start with Petey. And I bring this up because in Bruce Boudreau's media availability this morning, he was talking about chemistry of lines, and he was talking about the importance of finding someone that can play with Petey. He mentioned that Pettersson is what he called the second most, I think he said the second most offensively gifted or the second most offensively talented. He basically made a reference to him being second. I presume that he's talking about Miller being the first. And from a points perspective, you can't argue with that. So regardless if you think Pettersson's first or second, he was basically talking about the fact that you need to have finishers with him because Petey can be a finisher, but he's a good playmaker as well. And it was really funny, actually. Bruce Boudreau said Chason had about 4 opportunities last game to finish with Petey on his line, but didn't. But before he said that, I think he realized what he was going to say, and he said something like, well, he played okay, but, so he kind of prefaced it. You know how you kind of take the sting off a criticism before you do it, or do a criticism sandwich. Well, this one, Boudreau kind of downplayed it a little bit, but he made his point, and he made his point that Petey needs finishers to play with. So tonight, he's got Garland on his right wing and one of Höglander or DiGiuseppe on his left. For me, when Dickinson was healthy, which is not right now, I don't know why, I would have loved to see, and I said this from the very start of the season, Lotto line, Miller and Besser with Petey. Those are the two of the best finishers on the team. Then I would have gone Horvat, Garland, Höglander, and then Dickinson between Pearson and Podkolzin. That's how I would have lined up, and I've been saying that since the start of the year. They've gone basically with every single combination except for that combination, and of course with Dickinson being hurt and sometimes being on the wing anyways when healthy, and Petey in the middle, Petey and Miller were basically never playing together, haven't played together this season. So even right now, who would I put with Petey? I want to know who would you put with Petey. I would try Besser on his right, and then one of Höglander, Podkolzin on the left. Podkolzin can finish. So, now that I think about it, I don't think they've tried a Pettersson, Besser, Podkolzin line. And then that would leave you basically with, you could still go Miller, Pearson, and Höglander. And then you still have Horvat with Chason and what left winger am I missing? Yeah, if you went Petey, Garland, Podkolzin, then you could go if you go Petey, Besser, Podkolzin. That could be one. Petey, Besser, Podkolzin. And then your other line could be Miller with Pearson and Höglander, for instance. And then that would leave you, or do you go Miller, Garland, Höglander, and that would leave you then with, if he was healthy, okay, I had a brain fart. Let's do this as of now because I'm trying to sort all these names out in my head. But let's say it's right now without Dickinson in the lineup. You could do this. You could go Pettersson, Besser, Podkolzin. Then you could go Miller with Garland and Pearson. And then your third line then would be a Horvat, Höglander, Chason. And that's not bad, although maybe you want better players with Horvat. But my point is, I guess the one player that can finish and hasn't, sorry for the brain fart, the one player that can finish and PD has played with before, but he hasn't played with a lot this year, is Besser. So I would love to see maybe a PD and Besser combination, but it sounds like tonight they're moving Besser up to the top line with Miller and Pearson. So yeah, I was distracted by, I wasn't going to get hit, but there's a little parking squabble. There's always something exciting when I park here to record these vlogs. So that's the first comment. I'd love to hear from you guys. Who do you think, if you were to get PD going, given this lineup right now, and let's pretend Dickinson isn't in the lineup, because he isn't right now because he's hurt, who would you play with PD to get him going? Not who's he going to play with tonight. So my answer would be Besser and Podkolzin, because I think both of those guys can finish. So that's my first question to you is, what two wingers could get PD going, presuming PD plays in the center? Second thing I want to talk about really quickly is JT Miller. He was on Sportsnet 650 with Sat Shaw and Dan Riccio last night. And when asked about, I love JT Miller because he's always honest. He's never going to give you a cookie cutter answer. He's never going to give you a cliche answer. And they're asking him about the trade rumors, and he goes, "Yeah, it bothers him." One or two guys tweet it, and then becomes, news, and it becomes the biggest talking points. And he talked about the fact that he wants to win with this team. So they talked about his future. What are you going to do going forward? Because as we know, he's a UFA at the end of not this season, but next season. And a very telling answer. He says he loves the role. He loves the role that he's in right now with the team. He loves that he plays in all situations, and we've talked about that before. And he loves that. But he says he's focused on this season, and he's not worried about the future. Now, why that's telling you guys is, and why that's important is, when you talk to Horvat or Besser, whose contract ends at the end of this season, RFA, Horvat, same situation, Miller next season, UFA, they've mentioned that they would love to stay, that they love playing here, they've started their career here. Now, JT Miller obviously never started his career here, but he's never ever said once that he'd love to stay. And I'm not saying that he has to say it. I'd rather him speak honestly. I don't want him to say, "I love to stay," but really doesn't mean it. I believe that Horvat and Besser would love to stay. At the same time, I believe that JT Miller is open to not staying, more open than, say, Horvat and Besser. So I'm not upset at all. I'm really glad, actually, that I know some fans were upset yesterday. "Oh, how come he didn't?" No, he's looking out for himself. There's rumors that he wants to go back and play in the States, or maybe he just wants to play on a team that's closer to Stanley Cup contention than the Canucks are right now. So I certainly don't fault him for his honesty, and it's always refreshing. It's what we expect from JT Miller. And as some people point out, maybe right now he actually doesn't know what he wants. Maybe he's going to take some time. Maybe he's going to see how the Canucks do this trade deadline. Maybe he's going to see how the Canucks finish off this season. Maybe he's going to wait till what happens in the offseason. But he doesn't have to decide, really, about his future from his standpoint, what he can control, until the end of next season. So all to say, yes, I admit that it's a departure from the things we've heard Horvat and Besser say, but at the same time, you can't really blame him for not saying too much right now and really focusing on what's in front of him, and that's winning each and every game out for the rest of the season for the Vancouver Canucks. And that's kind of what you want to hear from your players, and kind of let the off-ice things take care of themselves. But that's why I have a channel. That's why we engage, because all these things are always fun to talk about. So in the comments below, if you heard those comments, or basically from what I just said, JT Miller is saying he loves his role, but he's not worried about the future, without saying that he really wants to stay here. Does that bother you, or does that make sense to you as it does to me? So put in the comments 3 things then. Your score prediction and your first Canucks goal scorer. I'm going JT Miller, and I'm going back to my old faithful 4-2 Canucks. Let me know about who would be ideal line mates for PD, and let me know if you're okay with what JT Miller said, his comments regarding his future here in Vancouver. Put all that stuff in the comments. I'd love to read, react, and reply, as always. Shout out to my sponsors, Perform and Transform, personal training and weight loss. Sign up now for a free 7-day trial. Use the link in my video descriptions. And Advanced Seed Experts Real Estate Group. Contact Jason Lim and his team for all of your real estate needs. To my members, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, hero member Nux fan number 29, Hall of Fame members Jens95, Sim Alexander, Chris Seifert, Adam Broomfield, Shannon Hollingworth, HSM Fangirl Gaming, Smooth Groove, and Carol Bovenlander. Thank you for your support as always, and thanks to the support of all members of all levels. You are listed in my video descriptions. If you want to become a member of the CCC Crew, press the join button underneath this or in my videos, or in the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. Subscribe if you'd like to, like this video if you'd like to, become a member or upgrade if you'd like to, leave a comment down below if you'd like to, and enjoy tonight's game. I'll check in with a vlog, a post-game vlog right after it. Okay, friends, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Have a great day and enjoy the game. God bless, and go Canucks go.